Hi, everyone. Uh, gee, I'm 3 minutes late. That's my fault. I apologize. I had to do some stuff. So anyway, mea culpa. How you everyone's doing? Let's see who I got. Hey, John and Tony. Hi, Hans. Thomas, Derek. Hi, Derek. Neferon. Let's see who we got here. Tony again. William. Hi, William. Okay, good. We're up to a good start. What I want to talk about today is sort of a weird things. On the most recent video, I was talking about finding these places that you normally don't look, and the reason for that is that I've had some pretty good luck at some of these places. And someone said, "Oh, this place isn't real." They were referring to a company called Hush Hush. And I've never met anyone who's ever bought anything from them. And so I went into, they had an address in London. So I looked it up in London, and I found a big office complex called the York. It's in one of the areas that's off a tube stop named Angel. And Hans contacted, what was that called? I think A Collected Man. That's the Collected Man is a site that has all of these great watches. And Hans said, they said, look, these guys, they post things that they don't have any real access to, and a lot of stuff like that. That was why, when I first saw them, I said the one suspicion I had was that some of the things that they had posted had watermarks from Chrono 24. Okay, so but I thought, well, maybe somebody wasn't able to sell something on Chrono 24, and so they thought, well, we'll try these guys. And I still don't know everything about them. My temptation is to get a hold of some. I still have some contacts there. When I was at Cambridge, I was a visiting scholar there at the Institute of Criminology, and man, I tell you talk about having good connections. They yank one of the old school ties, and he's some kind of commissioner in the Metropolitan Police, Scotland Yard. And so, it's like, it's so much fun looking for a watch, but then you got to figure out whether who you're buying it from is okay. Let me give you, this year I've had several examples, and I'll tell you about those in a second. But in the past, let me tell you about one I had. This watch is a H. Moser at Sea Henry double hairspring. This is one of my favorite watches ever. It's the only one with a double hairspring, and if I ever end up talking to watchmakers, a lot of the watches I wore, that's the one they want to see, because it's. And I contacted Moser after I found out they weren't going to be having them anymore. And they said, well, the problem was that double hairsprings is hugely expensive, and it's too much. We're just going to have a few a year, and I don't even know if they have those still. But and I got this for the price I got was just this fantastic price. It was this place in Switzerland. So I think at the time the guy wanted me to wire the money to him, so I did. And I got the watch, and it's just been everything about it. Got it brand new. Okay. Beginning of this year, actually beginning of last year, it's almost a year ago exactly. I'd been saving money for another H. Moser center second, or small seconds from the same place. This was back in January of 2020. Before we knew what the next year was going to be like. So anyway, I had in August 2019, I had made a deal with them for this particular watch. That was another H. Moser. that was at just a fantastic price. So the guy said, okay, go ahead and wire it. And I said, well, I'm going to have to save up a little for it. So I said, but if you want, I'll pay you with a credit card right away. So no, we don't take credit cards. We get, unless you want to come right here and do it. Okay. So I saved and saved and saved, and finally got the money together, contacted the guy, said, okay, I'm ready to buy it. Apparently he had gone through some kind of difficulty, and he wasn't going to sell it to me, or didn't have it, or one thing or the other. I didn't know for sure. But the thing is that, I had a wonderful experience at time one, and at time two, everything went weird on me. Some of the best watches I had, I was once warned off of going down to 47th Street, also known as the Diamond District in New York. Don't go there, you're going to get eaten alive. Well, what happened, two of the best watches and best watch deals I've ever had in my life were from 47th Street. I got both of my FP Journes from the same guy, same place on 47th Street. And he and I walked down to the FP Journe boutique, made sure that the watches were legal, and everything was fine. The guy even threw in an extra band, and the bands there are around $400 or $500. So it was no small thing. And I got this great watch. In fact, I got two of them, and now both of them. One is about double in what I paid for it, and the other one is got 5 or 6 times it's what I paid for it. Seriously. So so someone says, well, you don't want to go there. Another time, another place on 47th Street, a friend of mine was buying this watch, and we were trying to find it, and it was really hard to find. And finally, we found it at this place on 47th Street. So the guy wired me the money for it, and I was going to go down and buy it. So I contacted the guys, and I said, I want to buy that watch. And they said, we'll get back to you about it. So I never heard from them. I called them again, and then finally they said, well, we don't exactly have it anymore, even though it was advertised that same day. So, you gotta, I've heard people tell me about horror stories that they've had on Chrono 24. I've had nothing but good luck with Chrono 24. I've heard horror stories about Joe Mashop. I've had nothing but good luck with Joe Mashop. I've heard, what was the one? I have never heard anything bad about Shopworn, and I've had good experience with Shopworn. So it's hard to tell. I mean, you get somebody, and you got to figure out, well, is this person just a big crybaby, or is it something that's a real problem? At the beginning of last year, was it the beginning? Well, no, it was last year, 2020. Everything weird happened in 2020. I told you about that watch I tried to get from this guy in Poland. He sent it out. It was stopped because of the COVID-19. For whatever reason, I still don't know, but that's the way it goes. And so when I see something that's off the beaten path, I take a look at it. There was another one. This is another thing. This has just happened last year. There was a site that I found, and it had some Daniel Roth watches. Oh boy, I'm going to get this Daniel Roth watch from these guys. I mean, they really had nice ones. They had great prices. So again, I went to Google Maps and sort of tried to find out where these guys were. And I think it was in either, could have been in North Carolina, I think, or maybe Virginia. It's one of the states, or even South Carolina. It's one of those states in that area. And it was like a shopping mall kind of place, which is, a lot of businesses are in places like that. So I finally said, well, I'll give it a try. So I called the guy, and he was a super nice guy. I said, I want to get this Daniel Roth. He said, oh, we don't have it anymore. He said, in fact, I don't think we have any of those anymore. They've just been up there for a while. And I don't know if he had any watches. I really don't, because he had this site, website, a typical sort of goofy watch website. It's so hard to find to get around and everything. But the pictures, I had pictures and descriptions that were pretty good. I have no idea what the story is behind that place, but I've never gone back there. And I went after he said he was going to take down all of the ones he didn't have. He never did. So, it's weird. It just, I'm always very hesitant to call foul. Okay, that's how come I didn't on Hush Hush. I want to try to find out someone who had actual experience, and thanks to a lot of you guys who were, sort of started poking around, they couldn't find any good news. And this is not a case where no news is good news. This is a case where you want to find out that someone went there, they got a good deal, or they didn't. And that's what's important to find out about. But don't overlook something because, somebody says, oh, they stuck it to me. And then you talk to everyone else. My experience, like I said, with Chrono 24 has been good. And I have met people who said it's bad. Same with eBay. I've had nothing but great experiences with eBay. Everything's worked out great, including one, which was really talk about taking a chance. I sent a guy a certified check in New York, and like it was to be what was it certified. So I knew I'd get a receipt to know that it was received, and I got one of this great watch. And I got it for a great price. This is this poor guy that took me a year to wear down and finally got this watch. And, so you have these things and there are dangers. There are real dangers. You get, I really don't like to hear all these sad stories about the fake Rolexes. I mean, that's a whole other thing. And it's handled by every other watch web chat in the world, and so I'm not going to even touch it. But that aside, it's a weird thing. Somebody gets an idea, they sell a couple watches and they make some bucks, and they say, hey, this is easy money, so I'm going to start, it's okay. All right, so let's see what's going on. What are you guys talking about? Oh boy, holy smoke. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I'm way behind. Hey, Andrew, how you doing? No Car Lane, Dwayne. Hey, Jean-Claude Beaver is with us. Javi, how you doing, man? Maurizio, hi, Maurizio. Let's see. Chinwan, how you doing? Kim, good morning to you, sir. Lots of scams on Rolex Explorer. Yeah, I know. We got that. Hey, let's see. Okay, so what are you guys going on? Hey, Clyde, how you doing, man? I hope you're feeling well and looking good. Mr. Grumby, how are you, sir? Are you sure it wasn't North Texas? What are they? Eggs and taters. I think I have eggs and taters getting hungry. But, some of these things I'm missing the links on. Hi, Vladimir. How you doing, man? Okay, hang on. So let's see. Dealers sometimes post items not of what they actually have, but what they think they can get. It's kind of a greasy practice. I agree, Clyde. That's a good point. Sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's great. I'll put it that way. I once, when I got my Vacheron Constantin, what's that called? Historiques Americain 1921. When I got that watch, I got it from Joma's shop of all places. And so the guy said, well, we don't have it, even though it was advertised as, on their site. And he said, this is going to take a while, but the price was like better than 10,000 under the list on it. And this was during the Chinese crisis. And so what was happening is that the China crisis, when they cracked down on letting the Chinese buy watches outside the country, what happened was that a lot of watches that had been sent to China were being returned because of that. And so once they got back here, they had to sell them because they had this overstock. And this is pretty much what Joma Shop does, is that they try to find things that are overstocked, or number of things. They're even taking pre-owned now. So, a lot of times what will be true in one circumstance and another isn't, going both ways. Just like I got this great deal on this H. Moser. The next time around was weird. eBay has protection for buyers, not so much for sellers. That's interesting. That's the thing. I've never sold a watch. I haven't. I'm a hoarder. I'm a watch hoarder, I guess. I gotta sell a few because I want to get some other ones, and I have some that I'm not using that a lot of people want. So I've gotta be careful. I gotta figure out how to do it. So that'll be a trip. Johnny, a fake Tissot. Wait a minute. Bought a rare Tissot recently. It was a fake. After a lengthy battle, I got my money back. Well, that's good. I mean, it's good that you got your money back on that deal that I made in Poland, where the guy couldn't get the watch out of Poland. It was no problem getting my money back from Chrono 24. So yeah, that's another thing too. One of the things I think that Clyde said, I think it was Clyde, Clyde said eBay has protection for buyers, not so much for sellers. Now that's nerve-wracking, to tell you the truth. If I was trying to sell on eBay, and I've known people who've didn't get paid, and that's no good either. Okay. Nephron, that's a good suggestion. I check Scam Advisor. Hush Hush scores very low, likely a scam. There's a couple different kinds of things. Some things are scams, and some things are stuff that doesn't work out too well. Okay, in this respect, you have a company and they sort of get this information about watches for sale. And I think, as Clyde pointed out, is that sometimes they don't have the watch, but they think they can get it. And I think that's what Hush Hush does. But they selling multi-million-dollar airplanes and all kinds of other stuff. And so I think they see themselves more in the role of a broker. And so if they get a deal going, I mean, no one's going to send, Hush Hush or anyone else a few $1,000,000 for an airplane or a watch or anything else without, doing some serious checking. And so what I think happens with Hush Hush is that they somebody contacts them about a watch, and then they contact what they think is their source for it and see if they can get it for you. Sometimes that may work out great for everybody concerned. A lower price for the buyer, a sale for the seller who couldn't make it, and a little profit for Hush Hush. They got so many things out there. But according to what Hans said, is that he talked to the guys at a Collected Man, who said they don't have permission to post a lot of these things. So in other words, it's not a case where a lot of sellers go to more than one place, and you see that a lot. If you go to Chrono 24, you'll see the same watch on eBay, and then you'll also see it if the seller has its own site. So anyway, we live in a very tenuous world with that. Okay, let's see. I bought a nice vintage Omega one day, but I watched the seller and others for a couple of months before buying. It was a great straight up deal. Yeah, Tony, that's not a bad idea. And I find Google Maps very helpful because, you find out that the place that they're dealing from is, the back of their van somewhere you don't do it. Hi, Bookman. How are you? And Abdul Watches. How are you, sir? Vladimir Frisch, good to see you. It took him like 3 weeks to find out the switch, and he cannot comply. Oh, wow, that's not good. They make fakes of G-Shock, so you can imagine how they make shakes of. Unless you've got a motivator or uneducated seller, but a lot of scam artists poses them. They do. Hi, Timadeo. How you doing, man? How about Watcheron Con? I don't know them. Light 15, hi. Let's see. In Chrono 24, you see a lot of watches with a red dot, and in the description written they could that they could get if contacted. That's interesting. The only way a buyer and seller can protect on eBay is to sell it to yourself. That bad, huh? Do sites disclose when they don't have stock? Some do, I think. I like I said, my interaction with whatchamajiggy with Joma Shop, they told me that they didn't advertise it wasn't in stock, but they told me right away when I said, "Look, I want to buy this." They told me right away. They said, "No, you're going to have to wait. If you don't mind waiting, you can do it." And it took them 3 months, but heck, I'll wait 3 months for a new watch with a $10,000 discount any day of the week. That's not a problem. I saw Leo and Ferris do a piece on the timepiece gentleman. The reason why I don't go to Dallas anymore. I told you, if you want to flip your resonance, I might consider trading for my Zenith. That's as tempting as that is. I have emotional attachments, about 250,000 of them to my to my resonance. Semi-scrupulous sellers putting that trick will have contact us instead of buy it now buttons. Less honest ones hold on to your money as long as possible before refunding it. Yeah. There's all kinds of weird stuff going on. I notice Joma Shop is putting a delivery time on listings so that when you see one that won't arrive for 10 weeks, and it's safe to say they have to get it. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Like I said, one of the things is that the success of these dealers depends on us. I mean, if word gets out that these guys are, crooked as an ugly stick, no one's going to buy from them anymore if you can't trust them. And this has happened to a lot of them, and it happens almost like an exponential thing. Once word gets out and people start talking and so forth, before you know it, nobody's going to buy from them. Let's see. Okay, now you're talking about service. That's not so good. Hey, I'll tell you a company, really funny. What's it called? Watchbox. I bought a watch from Watchbox, had it for a few days, it didn't work. And so I contacted the guy that I got it from, sent it back. They sent me the stuff to send it back with. They fixed it for me and sent it right back. So Watchbox, I had great luck with them. You have to worry them a little longer about the price, but they're reasonable. I think also sellers try to play the market, buy low and sell high, so they need more time. Yeah, that happens, sure. Also, too, you get these people who can get into a jam. I saw this H. Moser I really like, and I think it was the guy had bought it, and I don't know what he was thinking, but then all of a sudden he's turning around and wants to sell it for $12,000 when he probably paid, I think, closer to 15, maybe even 20 for it. And so when you see something like that, sometimes, you say, well, maybe the guy, got into some financial jam and really needs the money right away. And these times with, 4,000 people died yesterday in the United States from COVID-19. And they got this new strain Thank you. Thanks, England. But it's going crazy right now, and really, grabbing everybody. So with the vaccines available, man, I tell you, then I think maybe things will settle down a little. I don't know. Hi, Ajit. How you doing? Uh, let's see. Hi, John and Marita. Maybe you guys better come this afternoon again. We're just about finished here. Pretty soon, Clyde is going to tell me it's frying pan time. I'm going to have to go. Oh, let's see. Off topic. Do you have an itch for another hovering to? And if you do, which one? Yeah, I do. I like that Rattrapante that they have, the Doppel. But I got so many temptations, God, and I want to give in to all of them. Hi, Gary. Okay, so I don't know. I think what helps, at least to me, is talking to you guys. Like if somebody asked me about something and I knew something about it, I tell them. And I really appreciated the fact that Hans went out and he talked to the guys at A Collected Man and found out what he found out about hush hush and these kinds of things. And I think if we do that, I think we're much less likely. Now there's the drama queens, and they will shoot off their mouth without any evidence whatsoever, and that's very aggravating because they may be wrong and you miss a really good buy, or they may be wrong and you buy from a crook. So you watch the drama queens. Also, they're the guys who have their own business and they pour cold water on another. There's this guy I know and like who has his own business and told me that I shouldn't have bought from this one place on the West Coast, and they're pretty desperate apparently. But I did before he warned me about them, and it turned out to be a great buy. And so, it's like, just do everything you can. Okay, Clyde, it's frying pan time. Hi, Geezer. I got to run now. And listen, we'll be back at 4:00 New York time. So if you can make it then, hope to see you then. And in the meantime, if you do come back this afternoon, I hope you have some other stories about either good or bad experiences you've had with buying and selling watches. Take care and be safe, man. Until you get your vaccine, you're in danger, and that's not good. So be real safe until that.